baby doge and the price action. So let's hop straight into it. Right now, currently we are at 8Z1325. So I know everybody knows what we are doing previously earlier this month. You know, we had a nice little pump, got almost all the way up to 1800, but we really stopped at around about 1650, 1630. And that was because, as you can see, Bitcoin has dropped. So, you know, usually whenever this happens in Bitcoin, we typically see everything else dropping with it. So unfortunately, Baby Doge, you know, it's just a victim of that. You know, Bitcoin just got stopped out here at like 118K, going up to 119K. But that doesn't mean that it's bearish for the bull run. We can still keep going, you know, just because we pulled back a little bit, that doesn't mean much. You know, we went to 122K and pulled back. So when you look at Baby Doge, you can see the same thing is similar to what happened. You know, Baby Doge went up, right? And then it just went back to just a little bit. Well, a little more than a little bit, right? A little more than a little bit, but, you know, there's still hope for Baby Doge, okay? There's still hope. So you can see it went all the way up to about 1640, let's say that, and then it went back down to about 1280. And the same thing when you look at Bitcoin's price, you can see Bitcoin went up to 122K. So the only reason why we're really pulling back is because of Bitcoin. Obviously, everybody knows that, but just kind of had to fill y'all in on that. Now, what we really want to be paying attention to is what's going on in the short term. Where does it look like we're more than likely going to go here with Baby Doge, right? Well, first thing, looking over here at the MACD, you can also see that it still looks like it's curving downwards and selling pressure is still here. We still have selling pressure. You can see we got rejected up here at this 1400 resistance, broke past it very briefly, and then we kind of pulled back here. So what I'm really looking at right now is 1250. 1250 is the level that I'm watching for Baby Doge. Soon, right now it's at 1324. Now, we're able to break that 1250, right, and go down even lower, down to about that 1160 level. And these aren't just random levels that I drew. These are levels where we actually had support and resistance at consistently. These are what I call micro supports and micro resistance levels, right? We still got to respect them, but they're not as big and not as important as, you know, they typically are, but they still do matter. So when we look at this, we can see like a little micro resistance around like 1400, and then the little micro support at 1250 and around 1170, let's say 1170. Those levels we got to watch, right? And the macro ones obviously are going to be our Fibonacci retracements. So those will always be there. But just looking at the micro supports, just what we did before, obviously 1250, if we break that, we're looking at 1170. So that's what we're looking towards right now, and that could actually help people who want to buy Baby Doge at a discount. You know, people who want to trade, make money on the upside, that would probably be a good area to get in. And anything around 8Z1 is good. Like at this Fibonacci retracement, 8Z1, or well, that's at 8Z1100 Fibonacci. But anything around there is typically good with Baby Doge. Baby Doge is close to the bottom. 8Z1 is usually the bottom. 9Z9, 9Z8, 9Z7 at the very least. So it's honestly not a bad time to be trying to trade. But like I said, I don't hold, I just trade. So that's why I make these videos talking about good opportunities for you to trade. And just if you want to kind of see what I'm talking about in real time here, if you were to get in, let's say down here at 1170, and then you sold out once it gets up here to this micro resistance at about 8Z 1400, that would then give you a 20% gain. So just look at that. From right here at 1100, well, 1170, right? Going all the way up here to 1400. That's a 20% gain. And a lot of people don't really understand how significant 20% gain within the matter of days it could be when you have like a lot of money like that is like, that's really nice actually. Let's say you put in 10,000 at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1170, the level that we're looking at, right? That's 8.5 trillion Baby Doge, 8,547,000,000,000, 8,547,008 Baby Doge, right? That's a big number. We can take that number we can multiply that by 8Z14. And that will give us 11.9K. So um, that may be a little bit off. But yeah, no. 10,000 and then pretty much 2%. So yeah, that is a pretty good amount. That's pretty significant. 20%, a little over 20% inside of 2 days or 3. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hey, it could be any time, really. But again, if you had $10,000 in there around that area at 1170, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1170, and then you can also see that would give you this amount multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go all the way up here to 1400. 1410 is really where it's set at. But yeah, 20% gain. That could be an easy $2,000 if you put in 10,000 at this level down here. Easy. And if you had 1,000, that'd be easy $200. But difference between $200 and 2,000 is a huge difference, because if this type of trade you could do in 1 week, like it took a week for this trade to play out, for it to drop down here, for you to buy down here, and then for you to sell up here. If it took a week to do that, then you made 2,000 in a week. If it took a month to do that, you made 2,000 in a month. Both of those situations could be good depending on where you live. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on from this. I kind of just wanted to show a good trade opportunity that I'm seeing and then I'm eyeing, because typically once we hit these levels, we typically go up from there, typically, right? So why not do it this time? Well, probably because it's done it all these other times. I would wait for 1170. That's why I'm saying getting in at 1170 looks a lot more attractive than getting in at 1250. Because what if you get in at 1250, but then it waits until like 1170 or even 1110 down here at the Fibonacci retracement to actually recover? So I'll be able to push it, buying at 1170 and then having it go down to that Fibonacci retracement at 1110, but then it's going to almost immediately go back up, as opposed to buying at 1250 and then watching it go all the way down to 1110. Then now you're looking at a bigger loss, and now it's going to make you want to trade more emotionally. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to trade emotionally, because if you buy in at 1250 and then it goes all the way down here to 1110, you're pretty much down 10%, right? Well, that's really 11%. So you're down 11%. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? You can just get in right here, and then even if it pulls back to that Fibonacci, then you're only down 5%, and you can stomach that even more, because with $10,000, that's only $500, as opposed to it being $1,000. That $1,000 number is gonna make you feel some type of way. But yeah, just kind of giving some trade opportunities out there. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Just some opportunities I see that I might be taking. At 118K Bitcoin, that is pretty substantial right now. 122K might be coming soon. I'm gonna do a Bitcoin technical analysis soon. But yeah, as for the developer wallet with babydoge, we have seen some cash outflow here. 6 days ago, $262,000 worth, which is 198 trillion babydoge. 7 days ago, $273,000 worth, which is 206 trillion babydoge. And then 16 days ago, I made a video 16 days ago, so we don't even got to talk about that. But the 6 days ago and the 7 days ago one, that's the ones we're looking at. And if you follow the transactions, it always leads to a centralized exchange. That's just them cashing out and doing something with the money, whether it's developing, whether it's a payday, anything. It could be anything. But that's usually what it is. It's just them cashing out right there. So usually it's going to go to a centralized exchange. If Binance Smart Chain or Binance Scan loads, I'll show you guys. But yeah, all right, here we are. So both of these transactions here, one of these went here and the other went here. Same wallet address. So all we had to do is click that wallet address, and then it brings you to this wallet. Same wallet address. You can see the outflow 7 days ago, 6 days ago, those amounts of money. And you go over here and click that address. And then this address will bring you over here to 19 hours ago, 20 hours ago, 20 hours ago, not all going out to the same address, actually. these are 2 different addresses. Well, 3. So you can see there's multiple addresses here that they're sending it to. And then from there, they usually end up sending it to a centralized exchange. I'm willing to bet you that that money ended up in the centralized exchange into someone's pocket. So that's kind of why I'm just, waiting for this to load. Um, we got Pancake Swap. Yeah, that's going to liquidity so they can swap that out for BNB and send it to wherever they want to. A bunch of Pancake Swap ones. What else we got over here? Binance there. The centralized exchanges, you can see they just been taking it out slowly but surely, sending it to the Binance exchange wallet, Binance 51 wallet. So they did it in a bunch of small increments, probably so it doesn't crash the price. But yeah, and KuCoin, yep, they cashed out some at KuCoin too, $113,000. What else? So yeah, I just like to show you guys where the money's going, where the money's flowing, just so you guys know that, like, hey, developers sell all the time. It's not a bad thing if you sell. Like, I think it's stupid people, getting caught up into the cult like things with crypto, and we all fall a victim to it. Even I did it at once. But you gotta do what's best for you. You gotta sell when you want to sell when you need to sell when you see good opportunities. Like how I was just showing a 20% opportunity here. You could easily do something like this, make a cool 20%, but it could keep running, and then you could lose potential gains. So you just gotta decide what type of trading you prefer doing. Me, I prefer making the money slowly, and I just prefer gradually getting money, right? I'm cool with 5% per day. And that's really what I do in the stock market 5 days a week. Well, not 5 days a week, because I don't use $25,000. So that means I don't have the pattern day trading regulation pass. So I can only do 3-day trades within a 5 business days. So Monday through Friday, 3-day trades, but still 5% for 1, 2, 3 days with, let's say, $10,000. Like, that's $1,500 a week. That's still decent right there. Just doing it as like a side job type of thing. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button and subscribe. All that good stuff. More videos to come out soon. So yeah, just stick around. And as always, I'll be back with another video.